guys, happy LPS Tube Day! I wanted to celebrate this year by making a video about the LPS Tube community. I love this community so much, and it's a huge part of my life. It's helped me learn things about myself, it's inspired me so much, and even in the years I wasn't collecting, I still came back for my yearly rewatch of LPS Popular. My favorite part about the LPS Tube community by far is how it's filled with so much creativity. Between skits, series, short films, music videos, photography, crafts, customizers. If you can think of something, it exists in LPS form, for better or for worse. All jokes aside, I think it's incredible that we've taken this unconventional medium to express ourselves in a variety of ways and about a variety of subjects. So today I want to talk about how LPS Tube is truly an art form. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Oh, not you, sorry. What is art? Art is notoriously difficult to define, so I want to talk about a few different common interpretations and how LPS Tube fits into all of them. Technical skill is something people refer to a lot when defining art. The idea that art is a result of practicing and refining your craft through hours and hours of hard work to create something that few others could. And maybe on the surface, to people outside of our community, making LPS videos looks easy, but anyone that's actually made one, you know, it comes with its own unique challenges and skill set that you have to work hard to master. What I think is so interesting about LPS Tube is that it's really a combination of several skills to make a great video. And unlike a movie or other comparable piece of audiovisual entertainment, this is usually all done by one person, or maybe a small team, so I think it takes a lot of skill to make a great LPS Tube video. Let's talk about all the skills that you need, everything that goes into a video. First is writing. In order to make a video, you need to know what it's about, right? I think this age of people using ChatGPT for everything from emails to school essays, even fanfiction shows that not everyone can write. As much as people like to downplay it, it takes genuine skill and talent to be able to write something coherent, first of all, let alone interesting and compelling. If you look at the comment section of any older LPS series, you'll see recent comments from people still waiting for new episodes years later. I think that shows they clearly did an excellent job of hooking viewers. And if you look at any new LPS Tube videos, you'll be astounded to see how many people are still creating new, unique, compelling pieces of art. Now, not every LPS Tube video is written out in advance, but that does not mean less technical skill went into creating it. Improv is a skill just like any other, and it is a difficult one. I know, me personally, I definitely could not do that. Once you have a story, you need to make a set. Set design for LPS Tube videos is really interesting. I often have a very clear idea in my head of what I want the set to look like, and it can be really difficult to translate those ideas into LPS form. Yeah, I could just buy miniatures, but the inconsistent scale of LPS makes even that difficult, so oftentimes you're mishmashing a lot of different pieces together, and sometimes what you want just doesn't exist, so it requires extra skills in things like sculpting and painting to DIY your pieces. Then you have to put everything together and make it look cohesive, and it has to visually fit with the story that you're trying to tell. It can make or break the atmosphere of the video. And LPS Tube is incredible at set design. Since my return to the community, I have seen absolutely phenomenal sets that look absolutely lifelike, and it makes these videos so immersive and engaging. Now, once you have a set and a story, you start filming. And it is definitely not as simple as turning on a camera. I remember when I started this channel, I watched a lot of videos about advice for starting an LPS channel. And something that was consistent in all of them was cinematography. They all said, do not just point the camera and leave it there. Switch up your angles, have character shots, wide shots, get artistic with it. And I've seen incredible cinematography in this community that truly feels like watching a movie. It is a skill to know how to film in order to best execute your artistic vision and to make the audience feel the way you want them to through your visuals. And of course, because you're using toys to film instead of real people, most videos require voice acting. To me, this is what really makes or breaks an LPS Tube video. It is a difficult skill. I think sometimes it's even more difficult than regular acting, since you don't have facial expressions or body language to help get your emotion across. But when it's done right, this is where the magic happens. when you're deep into a video and you've completely forgotten that you're watching plastic toys.
Stupid. Drown!
If you want me to continue being your therapist, you need to talk to me like a patient.
Can't you just be eye candy?
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry. I'm always leaving stuff out. That goes in the third drawer on the right. I can come show you if you want. Oh shit. Hey Logan, I think you should just go.
I don't want to do that. You know, I think you're really beautiful, Veronica. And I've been thinking about it for a long time.
You're fucking sick.
You think I don't know that?
And then finally, you get to the editing. Putting everything together, adding visual effects, sound effects, music. These are the final touches that stitch the whole project together. I remember being a kid and being absolutely blown away by the effects in LPS Popular, and ever since, LPS creators have only gotten more creative. Even without doing anything fancy, it takes skill to know exactly what to keep and what to cut, the best way to pace your clips, to have the best impact. So when it comes to art and technique, people like to say that there's no rules, which is technically true, but many art mediums do have guidelines. Think composition, color theory, anatomy, story arcs, grammar. These concepts should be followed in your art, unless you have a good reason not to. There are realist paintings that look like photographs, and also abstract paintings with no discernible objects, novels with eloquent, perfectly punctuated prose, and also profound novels with almost nonsensical streams of consciousness. As a devout rule follower myself, I always found this concept of art tricky, but fascinating. How do you know when to break the rules? Because if you do and it doesn't work, well, the art can turn out bad or just fall flat. But when you break them and it works, you can revolutionize the art medium. And so thinking about this had me wondering, what are the rules for LPS Tube? And how has the art medium changed over the years? Let's start at the beginning. According to my research, one of the earliest LPS Tube videos was The Dance, a short stop-motion video. And some of the earliest videos I remember watching were stop-motion too. So this starts the precedent for us of what LPS Tube videos looked like. But very soon after, innovation happened with videos like The Haunted House from LPS Lover, which featured voice acting and the use of hands to move the pets. And then we continued to see breakthroughs as we came closer to the LPS Tube we know today, with things like moving the pets by the head and more involved editing. I would argue that this became the predominant guideline for LPS Tube and still is today. And like the medieval period had art primarily influenced by religion and biblical stories, this age of LPS Tube was heavily influenced by high school drama, leading to and/or because of the rise of LPS Popular. In the modern era of LPS Tube, we continue to see deviations from what is expected, with the use of sticks and wires to move the pets, animation, a focus on realism and set design, and a much wider expanse of subject matter covered. While these things may seem fairly simple for us to implement now, compared to the early days of the craft, it's like comparing cave paintings to Renaissance art. Okay, it's kind of an intense analogy, but really, if you showed 10-year-old me the videos that LPS tubers make now, my brain would have exploded. The increase in quality of LPS Tube is not purely due to technological advancements, it's also heavily due to the innovation and creativity of the community. The creators who saw what had been created before, what was expected of the art form, and took it a step further. They broke the rules at the time and ended up creating new ones. I think that the evolution of LPS Tube really helps to solidify it as an art form. It is an ever-growing and changing craft that reflects society and the surrounding world just like past art movements did, and it adapts its techniques to accommodate that. Alright, so having technique is good, but it's not always everything, right? All these skills can also go into things like advertisements, but I'd say most people probably wouldn't call them art. Most people believe that in order for something to be art, it needs to express emotion, have meaning, tell a story, spark some sort of mental dialogue between the art and the viewer. and LPSTube videos absolutely do that. Like I said before, if you can think of something, there's an LPS video about it. There's videos spanning every genre with diverse characters and story points, and these stories really are meaningful, exploring all aspects of the human condition. The beauty of romance, the pain of heartbreak, overcoming grief, facing moral dilemmas, jealousy, anger, terror, joy. The unconventional medium does nothing to quell the pure emotion that these stories convey. This is really easy to see in some videos, but in other videos you might argue that it's just not that deep. And that's how I used to feel, that some LPS videos were definitely art, but not all of them. This video by Asia Ray really changed my perspective on that. In this video she talks about the recurring theme of death and grief in Sophie GTV's videos, and I was astounded by these themes I never noticed, let alone stopped to think about. I couldn't help but think of how many masterpieces I'd missed by not looking closely enough. Okay, great, but what about where most of us started? With grainy videos on hand-me-down cameras reenacting school stories or popular movies, or even just role-playing lemonade stands in coffee shops. For the longest time, I thought my old videos were so cringy and embarrassing, and I was thankful when my school email got deleted and the videos were lost to time. But now I see the beauty in them, the art that existed there without me ever meaning to create it. Art is a critical piece of childhood. It helps you to process the world around you. Many kids draw, some teenagers write poems or songs, and I made LPS videos. I played out fantasies of being the most popular girl in school to process the loneliness I was feeling. I role-played dating scenarios because I was too scared to talk to my crushes. I even made murder mystery videos to help with the anxiety of being home alone. Now, none of my old videos are going to be winning any awards anytime soon. They're definitely not good. But that doesn't mean they're not art. They're little time capsules of how I saw the world, who I was, how I was feeling, and to me, that's what art is. And that's what every LPSTube video is. Even in the most out-of-this-world fantasy or sci-fi series, it'll hold a little piece of you. For example, Citizen 143, it doesn't reflect my reality. I don't live in a society that assigns me a husband and requires me to procreate. Yet. But I do live in a society where sometimes I feel like an outsider for being so sensitive, and it meant a lot to me to create this story where Amora stays true to herself and her feelings. I'm also writing another series right now that is heavily influenced by my personal experiences, and that's really meaningful too, to create something fun and entertaining out of a difficult time in my life. I also think that the medium that you choose for your art is really important. Deciding whether to paint something or to sculpt it, to write a poem or a song, to write a book or a movie, they all tell your story in different ways. And while I'm sure a lot of people make LPS videos out of necessity, because not everybody has access to full movie studios at home, I think for me, using LPS is the perfect medium for the art that I try to create. One of the things that I'm struggling with most in adulthood is trying to cope with the feeling of a lost childhood. Feeling like I had to give up my innocence at an early age in order to survive. And by making LPS videos, I feel like I get to reclaim some of that innocence. It makes everything I create about that. Every story I tell is also quietly about me healing my inner child. And so I'd encourage you to think about whether or not using LPS specifically as an art medium has any special meaning for you. I know I've been talking a lot about myself, but I hope it helps to show how LPS videos really are art. Whether it's on purpose or not, whether you've been creating for 15 years or a month. They require incredible skill and can be a way to express really complex emotion or explore unique ideas. They are deeply personal, and every video you share shares a little bit of your heart and soul with the world. LPSTube is just as valid as any other art form, and you should be proud to be an LPSTuber. I know that I'm incredibly proud of this community for continuing to persevere and create fantastic pieces of art all these years later. The videos I've watched from this community have truly changed my life. They've comforted me, they've inspired me, they've changed my perspective on the world. This is an incredibly talented community, and I'm so thankful to be a part of it. I sincerely hope that all of you guys have an absolutely amazing LPS Tube day, and I truly can't wait to see what art you guys create next. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.